Hello everyone, and welcome to the Cloud and Lunch and Learn Marathon. My name is Victor Rodriguez. I'm the Digital Specialist for Data and AI at Microsoft. You can find me in the social network, LinkedIn, and Twitter. Feel free to connect with me. That's great. Let's get started with spatial analysis, which enables you to draw AI insights from the real world. The spatial analysis serves help organizations to maximize the value of their physical space by understanding people movements and the presence within a given area. It allows you to ingest video from CCTV or surveillance cameras. You run AI operations to extract insights from the video streams and generate events to be used by other systems. With the input from a camera stream, an AI operation can do things like count the number of the people entering a space or measure the compliance with the face mask and the social distance guidelines. Spatial analysis is shipped as Docker container and is optimal for data control, privacy, and heavy network traffic optimizations. Spatial analysis bring the power of the intelligent edge to you and enable you to use the Azure cloud to create powerful business applications at scale. Let's look at the three scenarios in which we can use spatial analysis like people counting, social distance, and entry-exit of space. Let's talk about people counting. You can count people in a design area. You can monitor and alter for maximum occupancy. You can collect historical data to make decisions for how to optimize the occupancy of the physical space. This is a demo video that shows how spatial analysis can detect and understand people movement in a store. In this case, the AI insight generated by the container is a periodic people count. In this case, we have 6 people in the camera field of view. Note, Notice that even when the people are partially occluded, the AI model accuracy is not impacted. The occluded people is still counted. The only configuration of the spatial analysis is all executed through the use of a JSON file that contains the configuration. For people counting, let me show the configuration that you need to create the structure of the AI inside JSON that will be admitted by the container. First, you need to configure the polygon in the camera field of view in which you're counting the people. You can configure the polygon to be an entire frame. Giving the polygon a friendly name, in this case, we call it store front camera and indicates the frequency on which we need events. The field threshold indicates the AI confidence in which the events are admitted. Any events we have covered, let's say, that less than the threshold are going to be suppressed. To the right, we have the sample JSON for the AI insight admitted by the container. The type of event is the person count. Notice that we provide a frame length for the polygon, the same way that you set in the configuration. In this case, store front camera. We provide the person count, in this case 3. And for each person, we also provide the rectangle of where in the frame the person has been detected. The second use case is something that in top of the mind these days, the social distance. With spatial analysis, you can set the minimum required distance between people and you can warn of failure to maintain the distance. By saving these AI sites, you can create the historical reports and determine trends in pandemic compliance. This is the same video footage from the store, but in this case, instead of people counting, we are running the social distance operations. Notice that with a single camera, you may run multiple operations simultaneously. For the purpose of this demo, we didn't run the people count and social distance the same video field. So let's look now at the configuration of the social distancing. In this case, you can still configure the polygon in which you apply the operation. Additionally, you provide the minimum and maximum distance in threshold is something like 6 feet or around 2 meters. To the right, the AI JSON sample indicates the event type, in this case, person distance event. The event name which is too close, and the distance violation person count in the case is 2. In other words, the two people are close to each other, the minimal distance threshold of 6 feet. The total count of the people detected is also provided. The third use case is about entering and exiting the physical space. You can monitor entryways for traffic and maintain optimal occupancy, and you can detect when people enter or leave a zone or cross a line, and you can calculate the time that people spend in an area for the timing and loitering. In this demo video, you can see how you can determine the waiting time and the checkout queue. We draw a polygon around the checkout stand, and the people entering the polygon, we start the timer, and then stop the timer when the person exits the polygon. By looking at the timestamp of the events, we determine the time spent by a person at the checkout counter. Let's look at the configuration for the entry and exit operations. For the person crossing in and out of the polygon, you have to configure the polygon, give it a name, in this case, lobby camera. You have to configure the type of event you require, in this case, zone crossing. The edges of the polygon are numbered in order to list the vertices. That enables to provide information about the number of sides of the polygon on which is crossed by a person. To the right, notice the sample of the AI inside JSON, which indicate in this case the person exits the polygon at the side of the polygon that they crossed. In this case, the side tree. If we count like this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, exit like here. In this case here, the third case is additionally, we can have the person crossing a direction line operation. So instead of a polygon, you can configure a line or more, and the container is going to emit events when a person crosses a line. To the right, notice the status field of JSON sample is crossing right. That indicates that the person crossed the line from the left to the right, from west to east. Again, the line direction is the best used for cameras located at the doorways where you can determine when a person leaves or enters through the doors. Some of the other users case are related to, for example, the retail industry. So retailers need to better understand how customers move to the store and how to modify the store layout. They want to measure how much time people stand in line in front of retail display, or if the store layout help people maintain the social distance. So with spatial analysis, you can build your own solution for the retail industry to improve customer satisfaction, protect safety and health, and increase the revenue. Spatial analysis effectively scale for business application and also available through Dynamics Connect Store SaaS offering. In manufacturing, plants need to monitor zones where people presence is not recommended due to safety concerns. With spatial analysis, AI running on video cameras can detect the people in forbidden zones in real time. Both safety personnel as well as the employees involved can be noticed on the potential danger by alerting features. Safety personnel can monitor and see this happen over time by studying the AI insights and building meaningful reports. The impact done by that is the number of accidents can be significantly decreased and the safety issues can be detected in real time and the trigger actions can protect the people's lives. Now, let's look at how you can deploy the spatial analysis container. First, you need an edge device with an NVIDIA T4 GPU. We have tested spatial analysis on Azure Stack Edge with 2 GPU units. The best way to order Azure Stack Edge, you can use the Azure portal and deploy this on your premise request for this hardware. You can may use like another edge device as long at least have an NVIDIA T4 GPU. You can use, for example, a virtual machine available in Azure with GPU. Another important information, it's about 15 camera strings per T4 GPU for person crossing operation and 20 camera strings per T4 GPU for person counting operation. Depending on the Azure Stack Edge or the virtual machine that you're getting, this configuration can mean that you could support at least up to 30 to 40 strings with 2 T4 GPUs. The best way that you can deploy the container of the spatial analysis is using the Azure IoT Hub. You need to create an instance of IoT Hub service and register the edge device. Then with the deploy manifest, like the example one that I just showed you before, you may deploy the spatial analysis container as an IoT model. For the camera device, you need to install this in your physical space following the manufacturer instructions. And since these cameras are IP connected, you need to make sure the edge device can connect to these cameras over RTSP protocol. Once the spatial analysis container is configured with the cameras and the address, the AI insights about people movement will be sent to Azure IoT Hub, that's the telemetry. From IoT Hub, we may create various routes to other services and build your business application. In this case, you can connect with webhooks, connect with Azure functions, logic apps and flow, and of course, build your own web app and your own app user or the Power Platform, your dashboards use the Power BI or even connect with O365 for alerts and emails. So let's execute a demo now and let's take a look at how the configuration works and how you can deploy. So if we switch now for the Visual Studio Code, the first thing here, we have a deployment JSON file. It's just a template. So the first thing that we can notice here is the image that you can collect the information, collected the cognitive service container, actually, sorry. The second part is the billing information. So here is the endpoint of the cognitive services and your API key. And if we scroll down, that's the most important part related to the operations. So here that you pass all the configurations. I will highlight a couple. For example, your operation ID that you like to run. In this case, you can run the spatial analysis personal counting here. The second one, if your virtual machine or Azure Stack Edge provides more than one GPU, you can provide which GPU this operation will run inside and which GPU this operation will run. And here you can set some parameters. For example, you can set the RTSP address here to connect with your live stream and set the video live to true. And in my case today for the demo, I'm just using an actual video to get these insights, and I host this video inside of a blob storage. And last but not least, we can set the spatial analysis configuration, and you can set the polygon parameters, the events, the type of the events, the trigger, the threshold, and so on. Also, it's important to notice that in the same deployment JSON file, you can set multiple operations. On this case, you can set, for example, person crossing the polygon, you can set the person crossing line, and so on. Another important matter that if you want to visualize to be able to design the polygon in a proper way and the position of this polygon in a proper way, you can set your operation in a debug mode. With the debug mode, you are able to visualize where is the polygon position if you are collecting the information in a proper way. So let me just open here. So here I have my virtual machine running the spatial analysis, and you can see when you run the polygon with the polygons here, when you enable the debug mode, you can visualize the polygon, the position of this polygon, if the actions are happening actually. You can see here, every time someone enters side of this polygon, I will execute a person count. If we come back here for my Visual Studio Code, I monitor my endpoint so we can see that we're collecting all the information. So every time someone go and enter inside of my square, my rectangle, I detect the people inside and get the parameters, for example, the type of if it's a person, what is the confidence, what's the position, and so on. To deploy this is really simple. After you set all the configurations, it's just matter to right click, create a deployment for a single device, and since Visual Studio already have the integration with the Azure IoT Hub, you can pick your device, just click, and deployment will start. Simple as this, you can have the spatial analysis deployed straight away, connecting or with your IP cameras or with some record files so you can do the spatial analysis. Back to the presentation. So I hope this presentation will help you and inspire you to apply this spatial analysis in your own business. By now, we have learned that spatial analysis includes AI models that can detect and track the people movements. One of the things that's important for Microsoft is responsible use of AI, and this is our top priority. Microsoft is releasing spatial analysis together with responsible AI recommendations grounded in user and societal research. Microsoft used many of the responsible innovation techniques to develop and test these features to ensure that technology maximizes personal privacy, provides transparency, and promotes trust. Microsoft developed the responsible AI recommendations in collaboration with the private to your customers to guide the use of the spatial analysis for COVID-19 public health and safety scenarios in accordance with the Microsoft Responsible AI principles. That is fairness, reliability and safety, privacy and security, inclusiveness, transparency and human accountability. Microsoft's principal approach enables developers to build this solution while upholding the human dignity and the needs of everyone impacted by the technology. So, spatial analysis is still in preview. So, to be able to have the access to spatial analysis, you need to submit your case to Microsoft. During the submission, of your case, Microsoft will make some questions around what will be your business case. You can get more information how to submit your case on this link, aka.ms/csk. And of course, take a look in Microsoft Docs about spatial analysis. I would like to say thank you the Cloud and Lunch and Learn Marathon for this opportunity. What's amazing, and I hope you guys enjoy this session.